Welcome to Secrets of Complete Mind Therapy. So what's Complete Mind Therapy? It's basically an approach taking the best bits of every technique I've ever encountered during my career. Bits from neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, bits from suggestion therapy, bits from aversion therapy, and every other sort of therapy you can think of. Took the best bits, the bits that consistently, time in, time out, actually work, put them all together into one approach that I call CMT, Complete Mind Therapy, which itself's got a nice marketing ring to it. Rather than saying you're a hypnotherapist, you're a complete mind therapist. The word complete implies that you leave nothing out. Thus, you get more clients and you can charge them more, ultimately. But more about marketing and stuff is on the seminar videos. The point of this is to show you the structure of the session and how you can use it for pretty much any problem. Now, we do have a video available that's a fly on the wall of an actual stop smoking session. It's very hard to watch, but it is very boring. But it's meant to be. It's meant to send the person to sleep, for Christ's sake. However, and we're going to explain what you need to do, enough so you can do it, along with the CD-ROM courses information that you've no doubt got or will be ordering shortly, or the seminar tapes, whatever. Enough so that you don't really need them, but that will just add the icing to the cake. We won't do it as though it's a real session, in the sense of actually placing our volunteer into trance and boring you stupid for an hour, which is what the average session would last for, because we do have a separate tape available if you want to be bored stupid. So the first things first, you need your client. That comes down to advertising. We'll assume you put your ad in, your client shows up, and you get them to sit down. So, can we have our client, please? And oddly enough, this is Tim, who you've met before, but you would introduce yourself. So, nice to meet you, sir. Yep. And you go through your preamble, which is, have you ever been hypnotised before? Generally, they say no. Whatever they say, you just adapt to, basically. So, alright, I want you to be aware it's a very relaxing experience. Nothing strange about it. A lot of people do find that they go to sleep, and by sleep I mean not even a hypnotic trance, they end up out of it snoring. That's fine as well, because everything I say will go even further into your subconscious, which is where your habits become formed. So we get the idea there that you no longer want to be a smoker, and we can make it a habit for you not to be. But we need to just find out what the best approach is for you by doing a couple of little experiments. And for the first one, I'd like you to stand up. Let's both stand up. We need to prove, no, this right, say. We just need to prove to yourself and to me that you're in the right state of mind for this. So I'd like you to place your right arm out in front of you like that. Fist out, thumb sticking up. Look at your thumb. I'll stand slightly to the side. You stay there. On the count of 3, I want you to, keeping your feet together, move at your waist, follow your thumb, move your thumb to the right. Okay, yeah, and you've got the idea, but on the count of 3, okay? And the moment it becomes painful, just stop, okay, in that position. So 1, 2, 3, when it becomes painful, just stop. Okay, remember what's past you, the curtains, good. Follow your thumb back with your eyes, close your eyes. Now imagine doing it, because that's all hypnosis is, using your imagination and your mind effectively, using your powers of intelligence, imagination, and concentration to help you achieve with the greatest of ease something you once thought would be ridiculously difficult, will prove itself to be ridiculously easy. So I want you to imagine doing the same thing again, moving your thumb, following it with your eyes, moving at your waist, and getting to the point where you see the first set of curtains, the second set, then the third set, and then realise you feel no discomfort whatsoever. Visualise it. Turn the volume up so you can hear it loud. Turn the brightness and the colour up so you see it clear, and feel it within yourself. Yeah, so you've literally, this second, changed your reality, but we need to prove that to you. So open your eyes, look at your thumb, 1, 2, 3, move your thumb, keep following with your eyes, going further and further and further and further, and that's brilliant. I think you'll agree that that's probably much further than you thought it would have been a few moments ago. Just take a seat, Tim, that's brilliant. What that proves to me, and I hope illustrates to you, is the nature of how just imagining something in your mind can affect your body. It's like when you go for a job interview, if you think, ooh, I hope I don't don't, you know, mess up, I get nervous. You're convincing yourself that you will be, and invariably you'll show up at the job interview and you're dead nervous. We've all had those feelings. That's all hypnosis is, really. Some of it's ridiculously boring, so if you feel that you want to think about what you're doing next week, go to sleep and not listen to me, that'll be fine as well. You just need to kind of tune your mind and fine-tune it a little before we start. So what I'd like you to do, place your hands like so. Okay? Interlock your fingers, so the fingers of the left hand against the back of the right, right against left. Palms pressed tightly together, thumbs down on top. Take your forefingers, stick them out, separate them about an inch, and look directly at me. Because I'm going to count from 3 to 1. I'm going to count on 1. If you concentrate, as I'm sure you will, your fingertips will be touching. Almost as though magnets are pulling them together, as on 3. Almost as though the little muscles are pulling together. You can feel it, it's rather strange. Don't resist, allow it to happen. Use your powers of intelligence, imagination, and concentration too. It's almost as though there's magnets on the fingertips pulling them closer and closer, and on 1, getting closer and closer, touching. That's brilliant. And what that shows me is that you're a very imaginative person, and that you've got the right state of mind for this to be 1,000,000% successful for you today. Now, you've told me you want to become a confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker. Well, I can tell you here and now, you already are. Simple as that. All we're going to do here today is help you never revert to that negative lifestyle. By showing up here today, you've taken the major step, okay? Try a little final tuning in exercise. Take your hands like that. Okay, just put them together, push them together. Brilliant. Push them away from yourself like that. Lift them above your head and stare directly at the back of your hands. That's wonderful. I want you to push high towards the sky, towards the rainbow. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. On 1, if you concentrate, as I'm sure you will, you'll find your hands are locked, glued, welded, cemented together. Pushing high towards the sky, towards the rainbow. On 3, with every breath that you take, every noise that you hear, and every word that I say. Every muscle from your wrist, elbows, shoulders. Wrist, elbow, shoulders, locked, glued, welded, rigid, in place. As on 2, tighter and stiffer. On 1, keep pushing high towards the sky and towards the rainbow. But as you keep pushing high towards the sky and towards the rainbow, just try and separate your hands. The more you try them on stick, keep pushing high, the more you try them on stick. And just relax, keep them together. And keep staring at the back of your hands. As you do, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Start breathing deeply and regularly in through your nose and then out through your mouth. And I'm gently going to lower your arms. And as I do, keep staring at the back of your hands. And notice as you do, breathing deeply and regularly with every breath that you take, every noise that you hear and every word that I say, that it's so much easier just let you have your eyes closed. As you follow your hands down with your eyes, letting them go deeper, sinking down, drifting down, looking down, letting your eyes close down, just letting your eyes close down, letting your eyes close down, just close your eyes, that's brilliant. Now you have your head fall forward. The moment I separate your hands, they'll just separate. I'm just going to drop them on your lap and you'll go 100 times deeper and deeper. I'm not going to touch you again now, Tim. I just want you to relax. And I want you to imagine in your mind's eye, you keep breathing deeply and regularly, remembering that sometimes you'll hear my voice very loud, and sometimes it'll be very quiet, almost as though you can't hear it. It doesn't matter if you can't hear me at all sometimes. It doesn't matter if you can't concentrate. If you want to let your mind wander free right now, and you want to allow yourself just to go to sleep, that will be fine as well, because everything will be successful for you. You're such a wonderfully imaginative person that this will be successful for you, that we can be certain. But I need you to go to a level of mind and body relaxation that's so right for you that it will enable you to achieve whatever you want to achieve, so that something you once thought would be difficult proves itself to be so ridiculously easy. And to get there, we need to go down the staircase in your mind, to your subconscious. So imagine you've got a staircase in your mind's eye. A nice staircase with 10 steps leading down into the world of safety, security, happiness, warmth and relaxation. And on 10, imagine taking that first step now down that staircase. The first step down that staircase, as with every breath you take, every noise you hear and every word I say drifting down deeper with each second that passes by, is on 9 and 8. Twice as relaxed now, drifting down with each second that passes by, 7. No noises will distract you whatsoever. The sounds of passers-by walking past my office will not distract you whatsoever. In fact, it merely serves as a sign and a signal to relax more completely with each second that passes by. 6, 5 and 4. The deeper you go, the better you'll feel, and the better you feel, the deeper you go. 3, drifting down there. 2, feeling so good, so warm, so relaxed, so safe and so secure. And on 1, almost there now, nearly there. And you're into your subconscious, but you can see in front of you a lovely, warm, inviting, safe, comfortable little bed. No noises distract you whatsoever. In fact, noises merely serve as a sign and a signal to relax more completely. The sound of passing cars, children or adults passing the office, the noise of people walking around, even the sound of my breathing, your breathing, the heating system merely help to relax more. But imagine now in your mind's eye walking towards that warm, comfortable double bed, safe and secure double bed, and climbing into it, snuggling up into the quilt, closing your eyes, taking one last yawn, and then going to sleep. Deep, relaxing, safe and secure sleep. And as you do, you start to dream as you let your mind wander free. And it's almost as though you're in a safe environment, a nice happy time when you were at school. There's only you in the classroom though, and you see your name on the board, T. Written in chalk, T-I-M. You feel good about this, happy. In fact, you know it's just a sign or a signal to relax more with every breath that you take, every noise that you hear, and every word that I say. Just imagine walking to the blackboard in your mind's eye, taking the board duster and rubbing out the letter M. And as you rub it out in your mind's eye, it fades away. So you drift down more deeply into a safe, secure, calm and relaxed tranquility. Now rub out the letter I, drifting down more. And as you rub away the letter T, you just go down to sleep. And from this moment forward, no noises distract you whatsoever. They merely serve as a sign and a signal to relax more completely from this moment forward. I'm going to mention different areas of your body, and as I do, I want you to concentrate on them. And if you've got enough energy to tense the muscle group, do it. And then when I say sleep, just relax the muscle group. If you haven't got the energy to do that, then just let your mind wander free right now, letting your mind wander free. So my voice becomes but a distant sound. But if you have got the energy, then noises send you deeper. So starting with your feet. Think of the muscle groups in your feet. Tense them up. Imagine that tension is like ropes tied together in knots representing all the muscle groups. And then 3, 2, 1, sleep, release it. Almost as though the ropes have become separate. So limp, so loose, so relaxed, so heavy, and so tired. That feeling of warmth and relaxation moving up down from your feet to your ankles. And all the muscle groups from your ankles to your knees. Imagine those tied together in knots. Feel the tension, tense them, and then 3, 2, 1. Just let them go, let them relax. The muscle groups becoming so limp, so loose, so relaxed, so heavy and so tired. That feeling of warmth and relaxation moving out from your knees. Every area from your ankles to your knees, from your knees to your hips. All those muscle groups between your knees to your hips. See them tense together, tied together in knots, those pieces of rope. Actually physically tense them, and then 3, 2, 1, just let them go. Down deeper, drifting down, relaxing, feeling so safe, so warm, so secure with each second that passes by. With every breath that you take, every noise that you hear, every word that I say, moving now to all the area of your chest, your back, your spine, all those muscle groups. See them, tense them, feel them, all those knots tied together, and then 3, 2, 1, just let that tension go. Release it. Feels so good, so wonderful. Now every muscle from your fingertips to your wrists, from your wrists to your elbows, from your elbows to your shoulders. All those hundreds of thousands of little muscle groups storing up all that tension. Actually feel the tension. All those knotted ropes together, and then 3, 2, 1, just let them go. There's knots untying in your mind's eye. So the muscle groups become so limp, so loose, so relaxed, so heavy, and so tired. That feeling of warmth that travels now from your feet to your ankles, from your ankles to your knees to your hips, all the way through your body. Feels so good. You may not be able to hear my voice if you drift off and go to sleep. And start snoring, it doesn't matter. Just relax. That feeling of warmth now moving to your shoulders, from your neck, and all the little muscle groups in your chin, your mouth, and your eyes. See in your mind's eye all those hundreds of thousands of little knots untying. Feel that tension lifting away. Almost as though all the worries, stresses, tensions, fears and apprehensions of days and weeks gone by are leaving your body now as on 3, 2, 1, relax. So let all that stuff go, realising that any noises merely serve as a sign and a signal for you to relax more completely. And from this moment forward, I'm talking directly to your subconscious mind here. Everything I say will remain with you and grow stronger with each second of each minute, of each hour, of each day, of each week, of each month, of each year, for the rest of your life, growing stronger and more positive for you, enabling you to achieve something you once thought would be so difficult in a manner that proves to be so ridiculously easy. But for the moment, even if I'm not talking to you, you'll just drift down deep. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've done, and as I speak it merely serves as a signal for Tim to relax more. Tim's entered the office. Basically, if you do what I did the way I did it, and say what I said the way I said it, you'll get the same end result. But I'll let you into a couple of secrets at this point. The test with the thumb, which is explained on the Stage Hypnosis DVD in more detail, basically always works. It's a muscle exercise. The first time exercises your muscles. The second time you do go further. But you see, what we did was say that this proves that today's work together will be successful. So we've done future pacing, made him believe that that means he will be successful. Then we did the fingers closer together. Well, guess what? If you put your hands in that position that you saw before, after a while the fingers draw together anyway. It's guaranteed to work, but the person comes to believe that this means that they are guaranteed to stop smoking, lose weight, or whatever they've come to see you on. We then do the guaranteed locked hands. That's fine, don't worry, you can open your eyes. I didn't talk to you for a while, obviously we would with a real client. You do the guaranteed locked hands, which means in that position it's physically impossible to separate your hands if they really push as high as they can into the air. Again, it proves to them all that you suggested something and it's worked. We then gently bring the hands down in front of the face. You can watch it earlier on. And as we do, they feel the tension relieved from the shoulder area, from in the air, so sense of relief. And because they're following the hands with their eyes, when you get to the point where the hands are in the lap like that, they naturally, near enough, got their eyes closed anyway, so it's logical to do so. And they do, because the thumb went further, the fingers went together, the hands locked, so it's logical to carry on. At that point, we then merely deepen the trance with the staircase, visualization, climbing into the bed, and then the dream and wiping away the vision. Just copy what I did, the way I said it, the way I did it, and you will get your person, your volunteer, into a trance state. Well, there is no such thing as trance, but what they perceive to be a trance state. We then get them to tense the muscle groups up physically and let them go when we say sleep. Look at what I did, do it the same way, it'll work for you. The irony of it is, they're no more relaxed than they were to start with. It's just that when they tense them up and let them go, it feels such a sense of relief that they physically end up feeling more relaxed, or so they believe. That combined with all the tricks, the thumb, the fingers, the hands, the eye closure, convince them that what you're going to do today is going to work because everything else works. You then talk in such a boring, monotone, stereotypical hypnotherapist voice, going deeper with everything that you do, that your voice becomes so boring and repetitive that basically they will go to sleep if they haven't done already. And I illustrate this more on the seminar videos, Confessions of a Hypnotist, but if your office is, the heating's turned up full, okay, you close all the curtains, you turn out all the lights, which we haven't done here, and you just put a desk lamp on, so it's very dimly lit, incredibly warm, and you've got incense burning, very nice relaxing aromatherapy oils or incense. The relaxation of that, the extreme warmth, and the dimly lit room, combined with some cheesy, arty-farty new age music, which we haven't used here, but you use that as well. All the things they perceive to expect to see all go to create a scenario where the easiest thing they will do is go to sleep. And by sleep, I don't mean hypnosis, I mean... But that's fine, because everything you say will still go into their subconscious mind. In fact, it'll be more powerful that way, and it's better at the end, because when you wake them up and go, wakey, wakey, after doing your traditional, I'm going to count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the numbers through, and on 10, wakey, wakey, you wiggle them to wake them up. They feel, oh, I've been asleep. Wonderful. If they think they've been asleep, because they have, but real snory sleep, then they'll believe they've been hypnotised. And if they believe they've been hypnotised, then they'll believe that what you've done today will work, because you've convinced them at the beginning it will work with the thumb, fingers, hands, and all that. And then through your tense your muscles and relax them, they end up physically relaxed. Your deepening psychologically, staircase, bed, blackboard with the numbers, you can watch it again from the beginning. Psychologically make them believe you're using suggestion to relax them. The really warm room, aromatherapy oils, the dimly lit room, and on top of all that, the arty-farty new age music creates a scenario where it bores them stupid, along with the you're going deeper, stereotypical, monotone, hypnotherapist voice. So they actually, 9 times out of 10, I find people end up snoring. You could at that point stop doing the session, but we are going to explain to you for this. We don't need you to. Thank you very much for that. Obviously at this point your actual client would still be there, and then you go through a series of things, imagination exercises for them to imagine. And the first thing you do is get them to imagine a time in their life, and if you buy the CD-ROM courses, it's listed there in black and white, or you can go through this list and write it down to give yourself a running order, because once their eyes are closed you can pull out the script. They can't see you reading the script. You can actually pull out one of the scripts off the CD-ROM courses and just read it word for word, whatever the problem is, from the Complete Mind Therapy disc. But basically the first thing you do is get them to think of a time in their life when they felt wonderful, on top of the world, loved, calm, relaxed and confident. And you also add into that, and if you can't think of one straight away, just imagine a time when you would feel like that. And you get them to anchor that to the finger and thumb. So you say, now to squeeze together your finger and thumb, your right hand. Make your ring of confidence where you feel that confident, so that in the future, whenever you press your finger and thumb together, you'll feel as confident as that. And then you say, relax deeper. Now, if they've gone to sleep and they're snoring, which they probably will have done, they won't even make the finger and thumb, because they won't even consciously be aware of what you're saying. Don't worry about that. It will still have an effect in their mind, okay, at a subconscious level, which is all that's important. And if you're recording an audio tape of the session as you do it, obviously then it's on there for future, when they do listen to it, they get an idea of what you've done. You then get them to imagine like a measuring stick in the mind's eye, with the number 0 at the bottom, 100 at the top, and it's full of mercury like a thermometer, okay? And you say this is a measuring stick of willpower, the willpower that's going to enable them to solve their problem in life that they once had. Because you always talk as low, the moment they've got there, the problem's solved. So it's the problem that you once had in the past when you were a smoker. So it's always phrased as low, they're already cured. So you say, imagine in your mind's eye this measuring stick, okay, from 0 to 100. And at the moment your willpower might be marked up at 10%. So imagine heating it up, imagine a lighter, heating it up so it goes up to 20%, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Till you get to 100%. That's brilliant. With 100% willpower, you're guaranteed to solve your problem. So we need to make sure it never drops below that. And to do that, you get them to visualise taking a hammer and nailing the hammer through the thermometer, measuring stick, so it hammers the mercury in place at 100%. A bizarre image, I know, but it's bizarre images that the subconscious picks up on, grabs hold of, take root, and become reality. You then do the same thing this time, though. You say, now we've got another measuring stick. The other one's drifted away and remains with you and grows stronger every day, giving you all the willpower you need. But now there's one in your mind you can see, and it's self-confidence, the confidence you need to achieve your aim in life, to continue as you have now become and will continue to be. As, for example, a confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker. And you do the same thing, get them to see the numbers rising up as they heat it up till they get to 100%. And then hammer it in place. And then you say, let that drift away, it will remain with you forever and grow stronger each second of the day, as your confidence grows stronger. And then you get them to imagine a final one, and we call this self-esteem. And again, you go through the process of them visualising it rising up as they heat it up with an imaginary lighter and then hammering it in place so it can never drop below that. The idea behind this being that all problems in life can be solved or are caused by confidence, willpower or self-esteem issues. And if you've targeted all three, then you're guaranteed to have targeted the one that's relevant to that particular human being, your client. So they'll then have the confidence to overcome it, the willpower to stick to the new lifestyle, and the feel-good factor about themselves, self-esteem, to handle life in a way whereby they solve the problem forever. So you cover all three. Don't waste time finding out which one's relevant, just cover all three, and that's much, 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 much better. At this point, you would do direct suggestions relevant to whatever the problem was. And I say was because we always speak in terms of it already having been cured the moment they arrive. These would be aversion therapy type suggestions. For smoking, it would be things like, you no longer need, want, crave or desire for cigarettes or tobacco in any way, shape or form. Every time you smell cigarettes that you're trying to smoke yourself, should you have a moment of being weak-willed, they'll taste like burning rubber, taste like horse shit running down your throat. Really bizarre mental images. Examples with scripts for every problem from A through to Z are on one of the CD-ROM courses. There's various courses, various packages, but the scripts are in black and white. You can print out, and once they've got their eyes closed, pull them out. So when it comes to this point, you can just read them off the script if you want, so you get used to them. When you've done the direct suggestions, you get them to imagine in their mind's eye a television set. And you tell them that on this television set is an image of themselves as they once were in the past, when they were a non-smoker. Again, it's phrased, as you once were in the past, when you were a smoker. So it's phrasing it that they're no longer like that. So you say, see yourself as you once were in the past as a smoker, or as the person who ate the sugary, fatty foods, or as the person scared of spiders. It doesn't matter what it is, you just make it relevant through ad-lib, and that's clarified more in the courses. Now, you say, see yourself on that screen, and at the moment it's very loud and very bright. So just imagine going over to the TV and turning the volume down. Turn it down so you can no longer hear it. Now turn the brightness down so you can no longer see it. Now turn down the contrast so it goes completely dark so you can no longer feel it. You can no longer see, taste, smell, see, feel or hear your lifestyle as it once was in the past. Now people who do NLP will tell you that some people are touchy-feely people, some hear things, some see them more. But by doing that, what we've just said, turn the volume down so you can't hear it, turn the brightness and contrast down so you can't see or feel it, and then saying you can no longer see, smell, taste, feel or hear the life you once had in the past. You're covering whatever type of person they are, so it's guaranteed to be relevant to them from an NLP point of view. And then you say, well, that television set still contains memories of the past that no longer are relevant to your new lifestyle, as you have now become and will continue to be as X, Y, Z, whatever it is. So it could be as you have become and will continue to be as a confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker. Or it could be as you've become as that person who's no longer bothered by little spiders. In fact, you love them, they're little nice creatures. Well, it's irrelevant. The scripts will clarify that more. So you say you no longer need that television set in your mind's eye. So imagine unplugging it from the wall. It can never get any electric, it can never cause you any problems in the future. In fact, let's destroy it completely. Imagine pouring petrol on it and setting it on fire and blowing it up. Notice how good it feels to have got rid of your past lifestyle. The way those things, those habits, those things that bothered you are gone forever because you've destroyed them. You now want to concrete their future life, so you get them to imagine a looking glass, a full-length mirror in the mind's eye. And you say, look in that mirror. Imagine looking at yourself in the future as the confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker you have become. Or as the person who no longer eats sugary or fatty foods, or whatever it is, X, Y, Z, whatever. See yourself in that mirror as the person you have become in the future. Happy with your life, having achieved your aims, living your life, knowing that you can continue like that. And now realise in your mind's eye, it's like the Alice in Wonderland looking glass. You can walk towards it in your mind's eye and step through it. Imagine it, do it now. And get them to imagine, even if they're snoring away at this point, which they will be, trust me, but just say it anyway. Walk towards the mirror and step into the mirror. And notice how good it feels to step into the body of that confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker, or the person who's not scared of spiders anymore. Notice how good it feels to be the person you've always wanted to be, the person you have now become and will continue to be from this moment forward. What you're doing there psychologically is making them take on the persona of the person they want to be. And it's weird visual imagery that the mind attaches to, so it plants a seed that grows and becomes reality. We then repeat the direct suggestions, whatever they may be. So, for example, with smoking, you no longer need, want, crave or desire for cigarettes or tobacco in any way, shape or form. And then, or whatever you're using the script for, whatever relevant to the problem, from A through to Z. Any phobia, fear, anything, it doesn't matter. Smoking, weight loss, confidence, alcoholism, drug addiction, it doesn't matter. Use the script that's relevant there from the CD-ROM courses, and that's your suggestions. But pure logic tells you this, you can make up your own suggestions. If they're doing something in life that they don't want to do anymore, like they're a smoker who wants to become a non-smoker, then all your suggestions must be along the lines of you no longer need, want, crave or desire for cigarettes. In other words, they'll no longer do it. If they're shy and want to be more confident, then it's something they're not doing, they want to do, so your suggestions must be phrased accordingly. So with common sense, you can actually come up with your own suggestions. At this point, we then use the pain and pleasure suggestions, because essentially, if somebody, I'll take the example of smoking. We give many more examples in the CD-ROM courses, but smoking, for example, it's become pleasurable for the person in their mind to smoke. It's become painful for them through habit not to smoke, so they think, oh, I need a fag, so it's painful not to have one. It's become pleasurable to have one. Oh yeah, cigarette. So what we need to do is make it painful to smoke and pleasurable to smoke, so that by saying, no thank you, I don't smoke, they feel good about themselves, And by thinking about smoking, they feel bad about themselves. So we rewire the brain. So what once was pleasurable becomes painful, what once was painful becomes pleasurable. And to do this, and I'll use smoking as an example, but you can use a similar strategy with anything, we can get them to imagine something really painful in their mind, such as having to tell all their family they've been diagnosed with cancer and have only got a few weeks to live. And get them to imagine how painful it would be to know they've upset all the family and they're never going to see them again. Which means that. And use the phrase, which means that. You never want that to happen in your life. So move forward now and imagine 20 years from now, and this is where the pleasure comes in, because we've just hit them with the painful idea of dying and having to tell the family they've only got a few months to live, to the pleasurable idea of go forward in your mind now, 20 years, see yourself with your children, your grandchildren, your family, your friends, on top of the world. You've got a perfect clean bill of health. You feel better than you've done in your life, and you're so glad that you became the non-smoker you have become today. Or whatever it is, you're so glad you're no longer scared of spiders and it doesn't affect. It's irrelevant. The CD-ROM courses tell you more about. But you see what I'm getting at? What I'm getting at is this. And you must always book the pleasure bit afterwards, because if you've suggested to them it's painful, the idea of thinking they're going to die in 3 months, in theory that could make them, if they believe the idea enough, die in 3 months. So you follow it up with the pleasure. Now see yourself in 20 years' time. So you've got it in their head that they're going to live a long, healthy, productive life. Always finish off with the good, positive stuff, so that takes root more than anything and makes them live a long, happy, healthy life. And that's it, essentially. You rewire the pain to them. That was an example of getting someone to stop smoking, okay? Let's say they're shy and they want to become confident. So they're not doing it at the moment, but they want to become more confident. What that means is, at the moment, it's painful for them to stand up in front of people and talk. But it's pleasurable to be shy and retiring. What we do is get them to imagine a situation perhaps like their most loved friend is dying on the floor in front of them. And they need to run into the room next door and stop the business meeting or whatever's going on and get somebody to ring an ambulance. And we get them to imagine not having the bottle to do it, and so the friend dies because they don't get to hospital in time. So it's a dead painful image. The idea is really painful then. Keeping quiet is painful. We then put the pleasure in. Notice how good it is to see your friend 20 years down the line and realise that just because you were able to go into that room and say, everybody, I need you to ring me an ambulance, and they got to hospital in time and are now alive, happy and healthy. Notice how good that feels. We've anchored pleasure to the idea of speaking up. So it's painful not to, it's pleasurable to do it. So you see what I mean? Watch the video back. We've given an example there of reconnecting pain and pleasure to get somebody to do something they're not doing at the minute, and an example of rewiring it so that they don't do something they are doing. We would then get them to imagine going back to the special place one more time and pressing their finger and thumb together, making their ring of confidence. And we suggest to them that any time in the future, whenever they need an extra burst of willpower, confidence or self-esteem, they just need to press the finger and thumb together, squeeze it together, and that will make their ring of confidence, which will guarantee they will continue with the lifestyle they have now started to live, thanks to the work, valuable work you've done together today. All that's left to do is give them the major post-hypnotic suggestion, which is that when I awaken you in a few moments' time, when I've counted from 1 to 10, on the count of 10, when you open your eyes, everything I've said will remain with you and grow stronger each second of each minute of each day. In fact, every day in every way you'll grow stronger and stronger, more positive, and live the life you want to lead, because something you once thought would be so difficult has proved itself, not will prove itself, has proved itself so ridiculously easy. Everything's already happened. You have become, will continue to be, has proved itself, okay? And every time you listen to the audio tape or compact disc that I give you to take away with you, each and every time you listen to it, it will be just as powerful as if I was in the room with you. In fact, each and every time you listen to it, it will grow 10 times more powerful and positive for you. You would then awaken them, saying something like, I'm going to count from 1 to 10, so on 1. Everything I've said remaining with you on 2. You'll find that each morning you'll awaken with an inner warm glow of confidence, a renewed optimism to life, a more positive attitude to get things done. On 3, you'll find that something you once thought in the past would be difficult to achieve proves itself to be so ridiculously easy. 4 and 5, everything remaining with you, growing stronger every day in every way. 6, almost as though every muscle group in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, is being washed with pure spring water, invigorating you. On 7, all the stresses, tensions, worries, fears and apprehensions of days and weeks gone by, leaving your mind, leaving your body now. 8, lighter and brighter, coming up out of it. On 9 and on 10, wakey wakey, rise and shine. Now, if they were just in a trance, they'll open their eyes. But I guarantee you this, if you had your office red hot, used aromatherapy oils to relax them, had a very dimly lit room, not bright lights like this, very dim, almost dark, and relaxation music going, and used the cheesy deeper and deeper, stereotypical hypnotherapist voice, they will have gone into, assuming they snore, if they snore, they'll have gone into a snory sleep. Otherwise, they'll have gone to sleep for real. So you may actually, at that point, have to go on, wake up, wake up, wake up. But that's great, because that's the moment they think to themselves, where am I? Where am I? Well, I've been asleep. And when they think to themselves, oh, I've been asleep, well, they perceive hypnosis as being sleep. So the moment they say to themselves, I've been asleep, they're saying to themselves, I've been hypnotized. And the moment they believe that, then they will believe that what you've done together works. At this moment, you say to them, right, don't look at your watch, but how long have you been there? Because they've been asleep, they'll have no comprehension of the time. They'll say it feels maybe like 10, 15 minutes. That's when you let them look at the clock and see it's been about an hour. Because from walking in, doing the initial talk, and there is a questionnaire, okay, which is on the CD-ROM courses, which things you can ask them. It's just obvious things like, what's your name? What's the best time that ever happened in your life? What was the worst time? Because if you know something that really happened to them, when you come to the pain and pleasure suggestions, you can get them to think about the really good time in their life that really did happen for the pleasure. And you can get them to think of the really bad time for the pain. Because it's something that really happened to them, it'll be something that means more to them, so it'll be even more effective. And as you're doing the induction or the techniques, instead of just saying imagine the mirror, you can go, we had Tim here before, you can say, okay Tim, imagine a mirror. Keep using their name a lot, because a person's name is to them the most sweetest, nicest word in the English language. And then you give them the CD or audio tape, and you can buy copyright-free masters of many different sessions that you'll encounter with your clients from the site you bought this video from. So you can just copy them and sell them to your clients. Or you can do what I prefer to do, or used to do, and that's have a tape recorder with a microphone on in your office and record the session as you do it, so that it records you saying, okay Tim, and using their name, and actually give them that tape to take away with them. And tell them they need to listen to it once every other day for the next 28 days. This means they're committed to change. It's a ritual, and anything that seems ritualistic and complicated and done for a reason, they grasp the idea and think he's doing it because this works. So they'll do it. It concretes in what you've already done, and more so, the odd failure you may have, the odd person who just came along for a laugh, or because they were coerced into it by the husband or wife, when they ring up and say, well, I've cut down, I've not stopped, you can say, well, did you listen to the CD or audio tape? And I guarantee you, nobody ever listens to it every other day for 28 days. So you've always got a get-out clause, and then you can charge them to come back again. Use those strategies, those techniques, regard scripts, use your common sense. If they're doing something they don't want to do, all suggestions are that they'll find it easy not to do it. If they're not doing something that they want to do, all suggestions are they'll find it easy to do it. Combine what you've seen on this tape and what I've explained to you, it would be really worthwhile you getting the CD-ROM courses. Not because you'll learn anything more about the inductions, because you've got enough information here to do a session with your common sense, to do a complete mind therapy session. No problem, you don't need to get anything else. But the CD-ROM courses are good because you'll have scripts for every problem you'll ever encounter. But again, you don't need them, a bit of common sense. If they smoke and they don't want to, you no longer need one crave or desire for cigarettes or tobacco. Cigarettes taste horrible to you, but the smell of cigarettes and tobacco on other people will not affect you whatsoever. It's very important you put suggestions in like that, otherwise they're going to feel sick around other people. So it's always, the smell of cigarettes and tobacco on other people won't bother you. However, it bothers you if you're smoking it yourself. If they overeat, you no longer need one crave or desire for sugary or fatty foods. However, watching somebody else eat them won't bother you. You get the idea? And also you've got to allow for symptom substitution. So if they stop smoking, a lot of people classically end up eating more or biting their nails. So you put suggestions in there. You're going to find this so easy that you're going to find that you don't need to bite your nails. You won't be eating extra food because you feel so good about yourself that you won't need to do any of that. Or if they're an eater, some people who try to avoid sugary and fatty foods end up smoking more as an appetite suppressant. So you can put the suggestion in that as you avoid the foods you no longer want, so you can stick to that diet, you feel so good about yourself that you don't smoke more. In fact, you'll find you're smoking less. But whatever's relevant, it's down to common sense and asking the client the questions and what they want to achieve and giving them what they want to hear. Give them what they want to hear, what they expect, and they'll feel good about it, and that way it will help them. And that is what I call complete mind therapy.